right, I think we're good. I think we're solid. I think we're sold. I think we're in business. I think we've sold the business. All right. How are we doing, everybody? Oh, better. 1 second. There we go. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you in the chat. Hey, Nick. Classic Isla soundtrack. Yeah, we're gonna do some. I found a new channel with awesome BGM, so I figured we'll try this as the background music for a little bit. Uh-oh. All right, so I want to get 120k, which I think is about like 40 kills of these guys if I got my mental math right. So we'll see. Thankfully, I have the power of verticality on my side. Come on. Come on. Get over here. Get over here, asshole. We gotta kill 40 of you, so... Damn. Thank God. You know, actually, now I have to question, did they fix the verticality with the Elden Ring versions? I forgot what they're called, the Omen Killers. I'm actually curious about that now. There we go. All right. Now for the hard part. Oh. Can't believe that didn't work. Really? Really? Woo! There we go. Verticality? Yeah, if they, their ability to target enemies when they're on different vertical planes. So when you saw me on the staircase, the Capra Demon could not hit me because I was below their ability to actually, you know, target their attacks at me, right? They had the idea of where I was on the horizontal axis, but they couldn't actually redirect the attack below to my vertical axis. That's what I mean. Never noticed the parallels, but it seems so obvious. And I say, yeah, of course. It's like, you know, it's like Erdtree Avatar and Asylum Deep. It's like, well, duh, of course. Like, it's very blatantly just copy paste. Uh-huh. I'm just waiting for one of these guys to randomly ambush me. Hello? I just need to make sure that the other guy's not gonna come up here, so. God, I didn't realize how big the health bars in the OG game can look. Like, holy hell, this is like just 50. I think, isn't this bigger than what you can do in like Dark Souls 3 even? Maybe not Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 might be able to get like bigger health bars. But I don't know if it requires the same investment, because I'm only 50 vitality, or vigor as later games would call it, so. Big kicky around the idea that Elmer is somewhat analogous to Kirk in some ways. You think that tracks? I mean, there's the Thorn aspect, right? But like gameplay-wise and stuff, I wouldn't say there's any similarity. Oh yeah, also the Omen Killer has the dog ass for its boss fight version. Like, yeah, they're not subtle about it. They're very obviously trying to remind people. And it's a very tongue-in-cheek thing. Although, as far as we know, Omen Killers don't have those dogs as pets. It's just the Albinaurix dogs that are, well, unsurprisingly, you know, kind of feral. After everything. Hey, Kem! Yeah, I had this idea. If the Chaos Flame fucked up the Sisters of Izalith, would it turn our player characters monster over time too? LOL, if they used it. I don't, using the flame in and of itself wouldn't necessarily like turn you into a monster per se, at least as far as the lore is established. But overall, like if the, like theoretically, if, I don't know if this would work with, say, Quelaag, but let's say the Bed of Chaos used the Pyromancy, the Flame of Chaos attacks. Would lore-wise those attacks be more likely to kill us or to transform us? I think it would depend, because we don't know the exact specifics on, like, do you have to do like some special ritual? Does it have to be redirected or something? Like there may be more to it than what we're shown. But yeah, I think it totally would be possible that we canonically could turn into a demon ourselves, given the right circumstances with the Chaos Flame. I think that's definitely possible. I definitely think, though, it would probably be easier if a slower process. Woo. There we go. I think it'd be an easier, if slower process if they just use the parasites, though. Right. Which is kind of the idea with what we get when we get infested and stuff like that, right? But obviously, canonically, we never actually go through the full transformation because, like, you know, the idea is that we always are able to revert it in time, even if we I guess you could theoretically go the whole game without ever treating your head infection. The armor you get from also has roll damage and not really anything else. Yeah, that, like, I would not be surprised if they took some inspiration from Kirk, or at the very least they noticed the connection and then like made some cheeky references, like with that armor effect. But again, they don't really do anything with it compared to, again, Omen Killer in the Alban Orc Village boss fight. Hey, I know this game. Hey, Nicolino. How you doing? The things I do for 120k. We're 1/3 of the way there, chat. Really? Okay. That actually would be a cool thing, is if the Bed of Chaos had like an effect that like turns you into like some monstrosity. Instead of you dying, kind of like what happens with Miquella, right? When Miquella like turns you with the brainwashing stuff. I would actually really love that as a fail state. In general, I think the idea of creating more fail states beyond just death is interesting, right? So I think it would be cool if From Software toyed with that in the future, but it would be neat if like Bed of Chaos could like have a unique status effect that you can't possibly resist. It just has like a set amount no matter what. And maybe you can say it's mitigated by fire resistance or something. And then like if you take too much fire damage during that boss fight, you transform. I think that would be cool. I need to stop bothering going for the follow-up. I'm never gonna hit it. No matter how much I feel like I should with my weapon. It just ain't gonna happen. Oh. He has no hitbox during that. Okay. Oh. All right, let's. Yeah, every time I think I can do this, I can't. I need to stop thinking that it's possible. Make another thing like the Dragon Stones. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, make it like a special pyromancy, like make it a key item like the Dragon Stones or whatever, but like a special pyromancy flame used, or maybe a special parasite, like kind of like in Bloodborne you could do, right? Like there's definitely potential there. Oh. I forgot you. Where are you? Get back here, asshole. You don't get to do that to me and then get off scot-free. Yeah, for sure. I definitely think Dark Souls has a lot of potential for that type of stuff. Honestly, I was listening to a critique on Dark Souls 3. And while I found the lore stuff in particular to be not great, overall I thought the critique was very interesting. And I think one point that was, I didn't realize, but is actually very true when thinking about Dark Souls 3 is how the variety on how enemies move around. Like, I myself have mentioned that, but I've never even thought about, like, when you compare it to, say, Dark Souls 1, how much that, damn, I did it again. How much that changes, things. Like, instead of these enemies just all standing around, it would be so much more interesting if you had each of them doing different things, right? And you kind of have that with some of the NPCs that are just plain hollows, but they don't do that at all. So I feel like if you did a remake or a remaster, I would actually appreciate it incredibly if they would include that type of stuff in the remasters, just new animations or something, so that way enemies just don't look like they're just kind of standing around waiting for a player to come and aggro them, you know? Like, it feels like they're more part of the world, if that makes sense. Because that stuff, it's subtle, but it does change things a lot. God, I just see the boss with the flinch or whatever. I'm like, oh, that looks close enough. Like, my brain just cannot compute that they step back just far enough away to get outside my hitbox, you know? Yeah, the lore for the dragon form in DS2 is so wonky. Like, it's technically Kalameet's armor, but it's not supposed to be Kalameet's armor. It's supposed to be Ancient Dragon, clearly, and stuff, and you can see that in, like, even the appearance and things. So, like, it's clear they didn't really... It's clear they were kind of going back and forth on what they wanted to do with it, and it just ended up... I mean, you just have to see with the Ancient Dragon soul that we end up collecting from somewhere else, even though the description is acting as if the soul belongs to the Ancient Dragon that's a fake that we've... Like, it's all a mess, is the problem. That's really is the issue. Damn. All right. There we go. See, this is actually how they intended for you to kill the Capra Demon. They wanted you not to actually try to go ring around the rosy with him on the staircase. The goal was to get him up the staircase, then get to the other side of the staircase with a jump around him on the jump attack, and then fight him in his natural weakness, verticality. More patrol powers definitely help in the world building of DS3. Yeah, for sure. Like, I look at that, I'm just like, you know what? Like, I don't think about it, but I'm like, yeah, that stuff actually does, like, help with the immersion factor. And like I said, it's not like I haven't talked about or, like, how they do that or whatever, but I just really never thought about it in the context of DS1, how I could uplift the existing game by building on that sort of thing, right? Like, it's one of those things that just got me thinking for a while, just looking at, like, how much it actually has improved between the games. And now I'm in a position where I'm thinking, like just, again, like these Capra demons. Yeah, I'm just saying around, maybe one of them is, like, you know, kneeling down and, like, sharpening his weapon. Maybe you have two of them that are, like, seeming like they're talking to each other or whatever, right? And you can still have their AI be just as, like, noticeable or whatever. You don't have to change anything on that front, but, like, it just would make it a lot more interesting if it felt more like, you know, these are just some demons, like, hanging out more than, or, like, say the Taurus demons we find in the lava when Ceaseless is dead. Maybe you can make it where, like, those demons are, like, they were trying to take, like, lava baths or something, right? And you have it, like, sitting down or something or whatever, right? Because they already have a huge AI thing, right? So it's not like you can't go through the trouble of adding oh, they get up, they take out their weapon, and they run across. Like, that's still gonna be there and exist. We're so close. Speaking of. Oh, fine. Like, see, their aggro range is already huge. Yeah, only 3,000, much better to handle the Capras. I'd say the DS2 Dragon Form probably looks the best. If you're looking as an armor set, but as, like, you know, a dragon transformation, I'd say it's horrible. I'd probably say Dark Souls 1's probably did it best. All right. Oh. Really? Okay. Whatever you say, game. Yeah, I definitely think Dark Souls 1 would benefit from Elden Ring style jump mechanics. I think the amount of things you'd have to fix by adding that would be so much smaller and be much more worth the effort. I think it single-handedly fixes the Bed of Chaos boss fight. Alright. Getting close to the 120k I wanted. Pretty surprised they didn't add Taurus Demon to Night Rain. I feel like they could have done a Taurus Capra combo fight. It would have been fine. But I'm sure... Because, like, I'm not going to complain if Taurus and Capra got more, Like, I'm not going to complain if Taurus and Capra got more moves added to help deal with AoE in Night Rain, because, like, they have very simple movesets as is. And speeding them up in would be interesting to see in Night Rain's combat. Again, though, we kind of see that Centipede Demon, even with all the stuff they added, didn't really benefit too much from the glow up. Yeah, Dark Souls 3's, I think, is probably the worst, ignoring the armor thing with 2s, just because it doesn't look like the dragon you're supposed to be becoming. I think that's the bigger problem, and it's obvious, like, it's cut content and stuff, it's these things where, like, it's a remnant of an original older design from, like, earlier in development, and they kind of just kept it around throughout the whole development process, because there's a million other things you gotta pay attention to, but, like, it still sucks. There you go. There we go. All right, our 120. We killed basically 40 Capra demons, or close to it. Yeah, the head summon, though, I like that. That's cool. Again, it would be cool if the actual form resembled that. But again, that's something a Dark Souls remaster could probably fix. Again, if I was in charge of any sort of Dark Souls remaster thing, that would be the kind of stuff I'd want to do, is to try to, not try to replace, the Dark Souls 3 art style with my art style, but make the designs all consistent and stuff with lore, and not things that were obviously more so due to developer constraints and limitations. Like, I would probably redesign Pontiff Sullivan to some extent, so that way he's more consistent with his lore and not the obvious final boss or origin he has and stuff like that. I'd still keep a lot of the design elements, of course. I wouldn't want to change it from the ground up or anything. But, like, I'd probably give him shoes for one. And I made a joke on the Twitter, not using the new name, about that. Like, it would be so funny if, ooh. No, let's do it from up here. I don't want to have to go through all that trouble if I die. I'd rather try to dodge parasites over here. Let's do this. All right, let's go up here. I don't know if they do Capra with Omen Killers. They would probably have some Omen Killers in the ads with the boss even. They might, you could make the same argument though with Erdtree Avatar, because I feel like, besides Asylum Demon, I think some of Erdtree Avatar's attacks are borrowed from Taurus. Don't quote me on that, but I think. Or maybe it's just Smo. But even then, I'd still want Ornstein and Smo as a boss combo. Again, I get the feeling the reason they picked the Dark Souls bosses that they did was because they felt they were the least spoilery bosses. Like, you could argue that with Dancer, but, like, Dancer was heavily promoted in Dark Souls 3's pre-release. So I get the feeling that FromSoft at least doesn't consider her to be much of a spoiler at this point. But the other bosses, and Nameless King is sort of like, I guess you could say he's a big spoiler, but, like, he was part of the promotion for, he was part of the big promotion for Night Rain, and I think if they didn't include him, I think the Dark Souls bosses would have just fallen flat, period, with people. No, it's just Asylum Demon? Okay, so I'm just crazy. All right, get over here. Yeah, there you are. See, like, these guys, you could definitely have them be doing other stuff. Man, you ever wondered what it'd be like to fight two Taurus demons at once? Uh-oh. Woo. God, it's awful. Oh. Get away! Get away! Okay, one of them's giving up. Oh no, never mind. He gave up on giving up. Sir? Sir? Really? Kind of surprised on that one. Okay. Oh, of course, the combo. Where is your leash? Like, man, give up. There you go. Oh yeah, for sure. Again, I think adding the Dark Souls bosses was pointless. I get it, they wanted to add more variety, but did it really change up the variety that much? No. You're still seeing the same bosses so many times. They did not add nearly enough Dark Souls bosses to make it worthwhile. And if it's honestly gonna be that much, like, you may as well have saved it for like some weird DLC expansion instead. At the very least, I hope the DLC does add more Dark Souls bosses. Honestly, they should be part of the updates, period. Just to give the game more variety. Just my opinion. I think it's silly that we have so little, though, yeah. Come on. Surprised I got hit there. My weapon's at risk. Alright, I still have good durability. I think I can finish these guys off. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Ever felt the survey? Nope. I'm gonna do it when that game hits an end of service, just for the lols at this point. Because there I did that blind, I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. Perfect. Oh. Oh, where's the other one coming? Sir, you're not welcome to this orgy. There we go. Just for 3k souls, too. That's the ridiculous part. There we go. I'm doing less damage because that's also hurting me. I did not think about that. I'm doing less damage. Oh. God, that was too easy. Where is it? Oh. Hey, I mean, the durability's still okay, so I just have to repair it. I just need to stop attracting, like, every single Taurus demon on the planet. Just walk. How difficult do you think the import process of the Dark Souls boss is on the devs? And no idea. Like, I don't know a thing about game development. It's all magic to me. Right, good. Oh, I didn't realize the step. Like, holy hell, the step, man. Oh. Thank God we have so much Estus. All right, we're almost there. All right, we're almost there. Boom. Woo! All right. Oh god, I don't remember how to get up on that cliff. I hope there's not a specific angle you need. Should I be trying to get this? No. Just flat out no. This is stupid. This is what we call a dumb idea. There we go. Like, what am I gonna use the Chaos Flame Ember for? Nothing. This is purely just for the experience. Yeah, the new textures I think would probably be one of the bigger hurdles, because they essentially have to take the original textures and then update them in a way that still looks familiar to the OG game, while obviously being, you know, to Elden Ring standard. And I think From Software could probably do it, because, you know, might be probably many of the same devs who originally textured these things, so it'd probably be a fun challenge for them to go back to their old work, but, like, you never know. Oh. There we go. Gwyn's Knights screwing me over, even after death. You know, you could have reacted to some old videos while doing this. Yes, I could have, but I didn't feel like wanting to do it. I'd rather just focus on chatting with you guys today. I did consider, I was like, do I want to finish up the Elden Ring Mesmer vid that Vati did? Nah, it's okay. Maybe next time. I'm pretty sure, speaking of next times, pretty sure there's nothing we have to worry about over here, but hey, let's just do it. Let's go take a gander down at Centipede's boss arena if we can. Man, Ceaseless. It's definitely, you know, I could make a joke about how Ceaseless died, like falling down 2 steps of stairs, but it is a decent fall, especially if you're falling on your back. I could see someone breaking their back and dying from that. You know, that's like a 1-2 story building type thing. There we go. Let's go this way. And now we have to go all the way back and repair everything. That's gonna be fun. Not gonna bother with you. God, the way these guys just kind of float above the ground is unsettling. There we go. I mean, he's also really heavy, so I'm actually curious how much the mass of something that big and the corresponding weight would actually affect the amount of damage they are able to withstand from falls. Right? Like, could they withstand more or less due to their size? Because, you know, bugs they can start a lot of stuff because they're so tiny. So us, you know, much far less so. So I feel like maybe it wouldn't be crazy if something that big actually did die from something we might consider, relatively speaking, not that big of a fall. Stasis was like a son of Izalith, right? Yeah, he's a true child of Izalith. Izalith was most likely pregnant at the time of the Flame of Chaos being born. And in fact, it's very likely that her pregnancy played a large part in her creation of the Flame of Chaos. You know, Soul of Life creates a Flame of Life, while she herself was burgeoning a new life. So this is the fact that, you know, Izalith just happens to get pregnant after basically going without any children with her husband for the entire period up until that point, right? Like, she has like all these full-grown daughters that are helping her in a war and stuff like that. And then suddenly she just decides randomly, hey, you know what? Let's have another kid. You know, it's obviously suspicious. Realistically, nothing could live and be that big, period. Well, I guess that just takes all the fun out of it, huh? You just gotta survive the poison. I'm sorry to say, I've contracted the pox. I know, it's awful. I'm gonna die. Please donate to my Patreon so I can get my medical funding. Oh! Unfortunately, I am uninsured. Also, take out the physics of living molten rot living molten rock making contact on impact. There we go. See, I can speak. I can use words. Bye, doggo! It's great seeing you! Do you remember if I got any of this stuff over there or not? Oh, well, just probably not. If I had to guess, I probably rushed past this area, and I probably missed getting anything special. You think she wanted a son? I'm not sure if she particularly cared. I think it was all whatever. I mean, if a son would have made her experiment and have a greater chance of success, sure. But I don't know how she could have possibly even hypothesized that, so. Or how that would have worked mechanically, if that were true, in the context of Dark Souls' universe, so. I feel like it really didn't matter. I think the important thing was just that she was going through some kind of life-creating process. There we go. Oh, oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, let's go this way. Ideally, I would like to get back to Andre. Actually, no, I could just go to Rickert, because he also does the repair thing, right? So I think that'll be fine. Uh-oh. Oh no, we ain't dying here. Oh. I didn't climb my way out of demon hell. Just for these guys to send me back. There's no more though, I think, so I think this is safe. There we go, last one. Just taking a little bit of shit in there, swiping it from their ass. Do you think Xanthos King Jeremiah was exiled just a vagabond? I have an entire book on this, Nick. And yeah, I think he was just, he was explicitly exiled. I don't think it was kind of like he left of his own accord. Awkward as things were, I feel like he probably would have stayed and continued to insist that Izalith listened to him. If not for her basically probably demanding that he get out. Yeah. First time we're meeting, huh, buddy? So, okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, nothing for Ascension there, huh? Yeah, not even worth bothering. Okay. Alright, it's time. We don't want to die to the poison still, so before my HP runs out, let's get up to Firelink. Thank God it's easier in Elden Ring to put a family tree of the gods together. I mean, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. Because a lot of, like the soulless demigods, we don't know exactly what their relations are. And some of the stuff with Marika and stuff is somewhat ambiguous, right? Like I said, I'm still not convinced that Mesmer was a Radagon child, quote unquote, right? I still think it's probably more likely it was Godfrey. But like, I mean, in general, it's nice that we have a a relatively like consistent idea of the family tree, considering how much larger it is compared to say like Wynn's family. All right, what's there left to do? I guess the gargoyles. I haven't touched them, obviously. There we go. Loving that Andor Londo design with the new Londo button. Always neat. So those demigods don't really matter. Again, obviously, yes, in the final, in the narrative, yeah. Their death is, much like Godwyn, their death is more important in many ways than whoever they were, what they actually did, right? What little we can infer about who they are and what they were doing, at least at the time of their deaths, is fine. But like in terms of like constructing a full family tree, I would be interested to know how many soulless demigods are actually children of Marika versus like Godric, you know? I'm just saying that I would like stuff to be fleshed out even more. Again, who knows? Maybe the Elden Ring movie will do just that. You guys all excited for the Elden Ring movie? Yeah, Soulless ones are the beheaded dudes, the mausoleum. No, yeah, no problem, Nick. I get you. I mean, there's nothing I really want to get from... obviously, I can't even go to Sen, so... It's probably better if I just force my way up here. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, like, little details like that. Like, what is that stone thing? Like, that's just a... That texturing is poor choice and everything. Like, definitely do more there. Also, you tell they were not checking to see if anyone could see up there. Oh boy. Can say the same thing here. Like, look at all that not textured. Lol. Lol. As soon as you step off the platform. Again, as I say, when it comes to FromSoft, Don't look up. Don't look down. Don't look left. Don't look side. Definitely don't look behind you. Only go ahead. Absolutely not. I'm dreading it like the plague. Director apparently put a lot of effort to a pitch he made directly to Miyazaki, which is the first time I've heard of him in context of the movie. I mean, I've never heard of the director either. I mean, I hope he's a good, well-meaning, as someone who's going to be dedicated to trying to bring Elden Ring's, or I should say Miyazaki and Martin's vision, to the big screen. But yeah, I have zero expectations from this. And I'll be honest, hearing that, I'm like, okay, he has when you have someone who's making like tens of pages of pitch, I have to question if their pitch is actually, either A, is it going to be anything meaningful? B, is it even workable in Elden Ring as an IP? Because does the guy even have a proper understanding of like the world and setting of Elden Ring to be able to make something like that? Like, we don't know. Again, maybe Miyazaki would still be impressed by the pitch and he would just be like, okay, well, could you do this instead, right? And it will just discard the whole thing, right? But I don't know. We'll see. I just hope it's not one of those things where, like, you know, Miyazaki and Martin are just like, who cares about integrity? Like, do whatever you want. I'm sure fans will be happy with it or whatever. Like, I would want something that is actually going to try to adhere to lore and have as few, even potential contradictions as possible. What would the plot even be? You can go with various different directions. If you want to do something that's more like not going to affect the lore at all, you can go like a Night Rain direction and cause some incident that is going to be like magical and have a way that's not going to really factor into the timeline if you want to do something big. You also do something more smaller in scope where it's like just about like people living in the world of Elden Ring, but it's in the world of man, and we get to see more of what that life is like. Like, what do people, and like the actual references to the lands between and stuff are limited to just like, you know, what the religious authorities there believe about Marika, the Tarnish, that type of stuff. That could be interesting. And you just kind of tell your own story with like magic and monsters, and, you know, expand on the stuff like, you know, the bird people and things. Like, there's a lot you could do on that front. And if you do want to set in the lands between, you can always have it where certain events that are mentioned in Martin's notes and are maybe referenced indirectly, at least by Miyazaki in the games, get properly expanded upon. Like, again, the whole events leading up to the Shattering and stuff like that. Like, there's tons of ways you can do it. The question is just, which one are they choosing, how lore relevant is, and how much are they going to adhere to the canon? Like, there's so many questions there, and like when it comes to stuff like films, there's so much to keep track of. It's very easy for stuff to even accidentally slip through the cracks, and then it'll create more debates within the community about how valid is the movie, what about this decision. Like, you know, it's gonna just it adds another level of complexity, much like a sequel would. So it's like it's something that I'm not gonna be too enthused about because I have zero expectations. It would be, I mean, it'd be cool if they do make it work, but like, we'll see. Nox stuff would be cool. Yeah, you could even do something Nox and just do something completely unrelated to some of the big, you know, mainline factions or whatever. 2.5 hour Morgok Goon session. I doubt that. That one I somehow doubt. He's clearly passionate and supposedly well-informed. Again, what does well-informed mean? Right? Like, well-informed is a point of view. Like, I could say I'm well-informed more than most. Is that true? I have no idea. Yeah, that's why I have to say, like, how much would Miyazaki and Martin be paying attention to whatever this guy's coming up with or doing or writing, or whoever writer they end up bringing on, because I doubt this guy's going to be kept on as the writer. I'd be very surprised if he was. Alright, come on, give me that tail. I totally sliced through that tail, by the way. I feel cheated. I feel cheated. Woo! He's already lost his tail. What's the point? There we go. Oh, shit. He's got range. There we go. Oh, too early. Okay, good to know. I don't remember how slow this game is. Give me that tail, damn it! Woo! I like how it's got the lizard thing where it continues to move. It's funny to me how the stone gargoyle doesn't sound like stone, but Gwyn does. We got ourselves some twin humanity, cause haha, there's two of them. Oh, I should have put on my my symbol of avarice. I forgot. I forgot. If they wanted to do something similar to our journey, make it about Vyke and him encountering the demigods or something. Vyke would be a cool one because Vyke is one of those characters that gets a lot of attention because he's on the cover, but like obviously, in terms of like plot significance, he's kind of he's very similar to other side characters in the series. So I would totally be okay with them. Yeah, I would totally be okay with them kind of doing a story that focused on him. It's also relatively smaller in scope because it doesn't have to step on some of the bigger players' lore stuff. It lets you have cameos like Gideon. It expands still on important parts of the lore and stuff like that. Like, overall, I think it'd be a good idea. Are gargoyles demons that served in Orlando? No. Gargoyles are just stone statues that have they're golems essentially, right? That's effectively what they are. They are golems. Now, why is it that some golems become and function more fleshy than others? I couldn't tell you. Like, I couldn't tell you why the iron golem is allowed to have blood to bleed. Right? Or like the puppets in, I think the puppets in Dark Souls 2 also have bleed and poison effects available and stuff like that. Like, I couldn't tell you why these creatures are allowed to have that, while others don't, right? There's inconsistency across in the games. Again, it might just be balancing thing or something, but the general idea seems to be, it's a stone with a soul, comes kind of like a dragon, where it's half stone entity, but half a living being, I would say so. They quote you a lot in lore discussions. Do I really get mentioned? Do I really get brought up that much? Because I'll be honest, I don't follow lore discussions, so I don't know. I mean, there's so many content creators, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, but like, I don't know. I still feel like I'm small fry. Like, I'm just a single voice in the wind, and a cacophony. I bet it's gonna be a Game of Thrones style power struggle taking place during the Shattering, but who knows? Again, they could do that. I would not be opposed to that idea. All right, here we go. Sen's Fortress. That or the bar standard? The bog standard, I think you mean, but the bog standard Tarnish Hero's Journey as previously stated. I don't think they're gonna do just the game. I don't think that's gonna happen. I just don't think they're gonna do just like, oh, here's a canonical version of our Tarnished, or, you don't even have to say it's canonical, you could just say, it's a possibility or whatever, it's an adaptation. But like, I just don't think, Oh, whoops. Did I rest at the bonfire in Firelink? I hope I did. Thank God I did. All right, let's try not to die with 200k souls on the line, chat. Let's try not to do that. Also ill. A liar ahead. I think it's gonna be America, to be honest. We all know how the Shattering ended up. You could say the same thing about if it's America. Though, I'll be honest, I would love to see a story about taking place during Marika's reign, just for the fact that we actually get to see her, not, hanging on a cross at the end of the game. being used as a plot device. Yeah, you're the focal point of the community, and for good reason. I don't know if I would say that, but that's very kind. The reason I'm here is because you were cited so often by bigger content creators. That's actually funny to me too. Is that like, yeah, I would not consider myself vocal when there are so many bigger content creators. I cannot believe I dodged that after getting parried like that. That's actually wild. Anyway, it is true. I have gotten my name out there with content creators and stuff, but I don't know. At least for me, like, I don't see that much big difference in terms of traffic. Like, I see very consistent numbers for the website and stuff like that. And I guess you could say something somewhat similar with book sales and things. So I just don't know how much, you know, I'm really out there, you know, in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. It's very hard for me to judge myself. But hey, I exist in the space, so at least I'm making some impact, clearly. As Bard is involved, it could take place where he wrote stuff before From Software ruined the world and characters. What do you mean by ruined there, Xavier? I know you're putting that in quotes, but like what? I'd love to expand on that. Are we talking about like, is that what other people are saying? Is that you just trying to say like, you know, the idea of it being like untainted by like, say, From Software's maybe interpretation of the work, something more closer to maybe just what Martin would have had in mind? I don't think George was that involved though. I mean, Martin has openly stated that like his involvement began and ended with him basically writing the world building, and that's it. Like, there isn't that much. There isn't that much for him to. Is there anything I want to buy here even? Not really. Yeah. Sorry, mate, I'm a pyromancer. I don't need faith or intelligence, at least not until 3. I had to check your stuff out at the source. Well, that is the good thing about people, about like my website and stuff getting covered. It does try to bring people to actually like read my stuff directly, and they can judge for themselves what they think, which is ultimately all I want. Get the information out there, let people come to their own conclusions. Oh, it's in the Shattering Star and the character descended into depravity and became less heroic. Yeah, okay, I get ya. I don't know, I thought there was a corpse in a barrel back here, but maybe I'm crazy. Yeah, I guess we just go to Sen's Fortress now. There's really nothing else we can really, you know, add to what we're doing here. There we go. There we go. Martin said he did the stuff before it went bad, and From Software did how it went bad in the current game events, if I recall correctly. I'd actually be curious to read that, because my understanding would be that he probably did the events up until the Malenia and Radahn fight, and then the specifics for, you know, how that went down, and after that, that all got changed. I'm also curious how much of Martin, did for specifics in terms of the larger world stuff, like with the Nox and things like that. But overall, I I stand by it. I feel like they should just release Martin's notes or something. I don't know if they're gonna wait until like he dies or something. They'll be like, you know what, as like a tribute to him, we're gonna come out with like, you know, his great work he did or something. But like, it's one of those things that I hope doesn't become lost media. I do think it deserves to be shared. We're so close to a level up. I'm just gonna kill the snake man here and How do you feel about what you've seen of the Sekiro anime? My condolences to Sekiro fans. I hope the animation will look a lot better than it did in that trailer. Granted, the frame rate was kind of scuffed on what I was seeing, so I don't think it was as bad as what I was seeing there, but still, there's some very questionable shots. So, yeah. There we go. Are you kidding me? I still need a little bit more, I think. Damn. Alright, welcome to hell. All right. No-oh. I'm fine with that. Bravo's now gonna be coming back. Oh. Whew. I can't believe I didn't get shot. I was gonna be a lightning in the back there. Yeah, I agree, even if from stuff changed a lot during the games. Yeah, because from everything I've seen in cut content, that looks to be where the main dividing line is. Like questions about what exactly went down with Radahn and Melania, or you know, that type, you know, like that type of stuff in terms of like, you know, what's the larger history with some of the events in the world, or maybe smaller conflicts or something that came up. I feel like stuff like that might have been left more to From Software's decision. All right, let's keep going. We're gonna keep going until I can fast roll. We're so close. We're so close. The moment we unlock fast rolling, we're in business. Radahn had the title of Giant Killer at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Is there ever reference what in context that was for? Because I highly doubt the idea would be that Radahn was alive during the Giant War or anything. It obviously can't be during the Larinian Wars either. You know, this OST is even more appropriate for this. I feel like Sen's Fortress is the most appropriate place for this. Oh, that was dumb of me. Why did I switch? All right. There you are, asshole. Man, I can't wait for you to have to wear rags like you deserve. All right, let's go through here. Large Titanite shard. Say it ain't so. I can't believe that an old castle would have Titanite stored away. Crazy. I have no idea. Just remember the title. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just the title. I find it so funny how genuinely reputable the majority of Elden Ring's cast is. I mean, I feel like it's pretty par for the course for FromSoft games. Like, now that I think about it, like, I don't think of too many redeeming characters. Like, usually the redeeming characters are the women. So I feel like that really hasn't changed. Come on, throw it at me. Come on, throw it at me. Damn. Oh, lol. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Oh, damn. Could have been funnier. Oh well. There's so much clipping in this game, DM didn't even notice it in DS2. Yeah, I can't say what in particular you're seeing clipping. Personally, I haven't noticed it too much, though I've noticed a lot more, obviously, with the environments, though, as we've seen. Woo! There we go. Yeah, there we are. I think these are supposed to be the enemies that are supposed to be dead with Sigurd, but there's like a glitch or something that sometimes prevents that from happening. Oh boy, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just hug the wall. Okay, I remember when fog walls weren't just indications of bosses. You actually had to wonder what was actually beyond them. I feel like in a game like Elden Ring, that would have been especially useful to have like mix-ups. But oh well, it is what it is. Ring of steel protection? What do you mean? Alright. Yeah, I can't really see the spikes even though I want to. Oh well. Oh! There we go. Up. Silksong released tomorrow, so you think you'd be convinced to play Hollow Knight? No, I'm not really interested in Hollow Knight or Silksong right now. I'm pretty happy with playing this game at the moment. I love how the stone does less damage than like 90% of the things I've had to deal with in this game. You know, I'm beginning to question. I don't think this wall is big enough for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Because you also have to have a pushing mechanism behind it. Also, oh my god, I can see the... That I can see a little bit of seams right there. A little square from where that device is. There we go. They definitely kept the moaning on purpose, bro. You mean when I get hit by the stones and stuff? I suppose. Alright, so, what I recall, you also need this thing to fill up. So we'll let that happen for a little bit while we go this way. Nothing really worth killing this way. Can't see outside there. I feel like that's enough. All right. Yeah. Don't look up, don't look down, don't question geometry. Does not open from this side. Oh no. Little doorway there. Yeah, super cool. Super cool going through this old castle, turned into prison, turned into Sen's Funhouse. There we go. Hello? How are we doing, good sirs? Oh, you're all dead. Or not. You know, actually, another thing I would have liked if a remake or remaster would add more bodies in some of these or whatever, you know? Kind of get you the idea of, like, you know, you can even make a case for the Snake Man forgetting about them and all that stuff. He was the master. I don't even remember getting the master key. There's the old church. There's the newer church. Very nice. All right, have fun, Logan. All right, this way. Oh. Oh. This way, right? Yeah. Go here. We go up. Back on the topic of the Elden Ring movie and all that stuff, though. I am hopeful that whatever we get, it will ultimately be good. Like, even if it's like, no, this is all like ridiculous, like fan and bullshit or something. I would love it if it was just really good. Yeah, why does... I don't understand what causes this thing to move on its own back to this spot. That I have never quite understood. Also, I loved how that thing pushed that way before it had even begun pushing the boulder trip. All right, let's go this way. Oh, I love the scratches here too. Very, very appropriate. Woo. Oh, lol. I can get my plunging attack, don't worry. Plunging attack is a weird one in this game. It feels like they teach it to you at the tutorial, like they really wanted it to be this big thing, being like, look, we added plunging attacks. And then they don't do really anything with it. Yeah, it's kind of like vaulting in Demon Souls. Except at least in Dark Souls, they didn't abandon the concept outright. I feel like this would have been the perfect area to make an enemy who was basically very perfectly placed, specifically for plunging, and they just don't do that. Black Sorcerer set with Hodge. See, we could do two things at once. We can make a reference to how this is where Griggs will hollow in the future, this area. Because this is the mirror of, I think, the spot where Griggs is, which I think is on that side, right? But you can also double to start alluding to people making their way up to Seath's Archives. Specifically, the Spies of Vinheim. Do I even want to go this way? I don't know, maybe later. I read somewhere that Nameless King, or was it Gwyn, might have reigned from here, / used it as a main castle before Anor Londo was built. Gwyn's firstborn, Nameless King, might have... Oh, wow. Really? Oh, God, it's not even done. Like, what happened? Did they despawn? Oh. Well, chat, you know what this is. It's the first one in the game. The first security chest. There we go. No, though, I don't think it was used for any of that purposes. Again, I think Sen's old castle, Sen was probably just a military commander. Maybe he was one of the Silver Knights, who knows? But, as far as, like, the purpose of the old castle, its history definitely seems to have been, it was originally a training ground for Silver Knights, before the Ancient Dragon War. Nameless King likely, you know, as a prince, likely probably had connections here and probably trained here himself for some time. Then it became... Maybe I have to actually be down there physically. In that case, we're gonna try to make this work. Let's see if we do. Let's see if we do. All right. Going this way. Then afterwards, it would end up later becoming a checkpoint / detainment area, especially after the onset of the undead curse and humans falling under stricter scrutiny. And then finally, it would become the fun house for the undead mission under Gwendolyn these past 100 or so years. Have you ever played D&D, Loki? Yes. I mean, if you're worried about being judged for D&D, just find people who, I don't know. I have nerdy friends. Like, I've always had nerdy friends, right? So I've always never had problems, you know, doing nerdy stuff with my friends, right? People would always say I was kind of a chameleon in school. I could kind of just hang out with anybody and I would be pretty chill with them, right? I wouldn't say it's like my power or anything, but, you know, that's something that people always observed. So it was very easy for me to just kind of slip into, like, you know, the cool kids group or something like that and just kind of, you know, hang out or find my place, you know? I don't really mind framing it that way. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's anything down there specifically we want to grab. Anyway, but the point is that what I'm trying to say here is that the like, for me, I've never really had troubles on that front, right? I had a very good I still have very good set of friends and stuff, and we could always do like stuff like D&D and things like that, no problem, right? Some of them were pretty cool guys themselves, so it was kind of nice to see them branch out and do something more nerdy like that. Oh, I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? Oh, I'm 100% gonna regret this. Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, let's get out of here. Obviously speculating, where do you think Jariel would have fit into the lore? I mean, he was just gonna be one of the Nameless Kings. It was probably an alternate idea for, sorry, not Nameless King, 4 Kings of New Londo. So, it was probably gonna be it was probably something where they were like, oh, we'll create one boss model and then we'll copy paste these 4 and they'll be part of the boss fight. That was probably the original idea. And then they were like, it's a little too basic, it doesn't really fit. And then they came up with the design that we know and love in the actual 4 Kings boss fight and ended up throwing it in the Abyss area. Which ultimately I think was for the best, because I think not only is it a more inspired design, I think overall it just adds a lot more, you know, flexibility to them. To be able to actually, you know, make a boss fight work in that scenario, so... Oh god, I have no idea where we're going anymore. Oh wait, no, I think I do. Am I right? Yeah. Then we go here. Right? Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna regret it so hard if I try to get down this. Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. Oh, what a shocker there. Were the Four Kings the beast that ravaged Astora in the Evil Eye ring? No, no, no. The Evil Eye is likely its own unseen monster. You could probably come up with a million different designs and would probably all work, right? Like, it's supposed to be some sort. By all indications, it's supposed to be some kind of abyssal experiment gone wrong that ended up wreaking havoc and obviously completely damaged the Dark's reputation in Astora, especially, and drove it to become the religious fervor nation because, ironically, was actually attributable to one's own humanity. Their luck got instead pinned on divine favor, blessing, providence, that type of thing, right? And as a result, Astora's fate became inexorably tied to the gods. Oh, I'm gonna regret this so hard. Oh, I'm gonna regret this so hard. Honestly, I should have put on that Slumbering Dragon Crest ring. Oh, oh! That Slumbering Dragon Crest ring should have been put on right there. Oh boy. Kingsfield reference to a degree. Yeah, with Astraea, yeah. First, I was like, Evil Eye? I'm trying to think. I was trying to think. I was like, oh, no, of course, the Astraea. Yeah. Yeah. Astora is very, you know, very unambiguously just taking Ostrava and Astraea and put them together, and you get the country of Astora. Like, it borrows references from both characters and then kind of does its own thing with them, which, again, which is what you would ideally want when you're making callbacks. Some guy I talked to also said that Londor was established upon Astora. I agree with that conclusion. Yes, I would say that is that would indeed be the implication. That the reason we don't, the reason why Astora is a destroyed country and the reason why the games draw attention to that is because it became the country of Londor. I would love to write my Londor thesis and you know, go into all the dirty details on that. That would be very fun, I think. It's being a little bit spicy there. All right. There we go. Woo, woo! Barely. But yeah, we lost. Astora was lost. And was lost to Londor. Ooh. There we go. I think it's a tragic but poetic fate for the country in many ways. Are they actually dead in this version? Oh. I never went down here. My bad. 1 second. Uh-oh, I think I just heard it change. Shotel, my beloved. Welcome back, Kareem. Yeah, overall, like, maybe you guys disagree. I think the Dark Souls world is perhaps the most inspired of the settings. Maybe some people disagree and say Elden Ring. And I'd be willing to concede that for people, but for me personally, I feel like there's just no world that inspires, I don't know, there's no world that just feels as magical as Dark Souls for me, as just a setting. Why'd I even bother? Oh, that's in the Evil Eye in Kingsfield. You're right, Kingsfield reference to a degree. I thought you were saying Demon Souls, that's my brain. We're so focused on Souls that I see Kingsfield and somehow that translates to Demon Souls in my head. Yeah, if it's a Kingsfield reference, that is something I definitely did not pick up on. But then again, I can't claim that I did as deep of research into Kingsfield as I did. Let's do this for my sanity. There we go. I think's beating Dark Souls my book. Yeah, I think so much that came together for creating Dark Souls. It's just so hard to replicate. Yeah, it feels like a more brutal Elden Ring, even though Elden Ring is dark too. Yeah, they're all dark fantasy, right? I would say you definitely can feel the Martin impression with Elden Ring, just because of like what the focuses and stuff are, right? And again, you might say, well, you know, Dark Souls has lots of, you know, political intrigue and like betrayal and sex and things like that too. Yeah, but Miyazaki definitely has a different touch when it comes to that stuff. Like 100%. I'm not saying that's like a bad thing or a good thing or anything. Like, it's just different, right? It's a different style. And I feel like just that with what the other devs and the artists that came together and created the world of Dark Souls, I just think it's more inspired, you know? Where the hell are my souls? Like, legit, I have no idea where those things went off to. Because the games were so kind enough to drop this for us. Evil Eyes obviously counted me. Oh, that's where it is. Okay. I did not realize this counts as solid ground. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But like, oh boy. Well, that was useless. Oh god. Yeah, that was dumb of me. I took unnecessary damage there. Yeah, I took unnecessary damage. I did not need to heal there. That was dumb. Why was Henri called of Astora, though? Is Londor that new? Because she's trying to hide her affiliation. So she says a destroyed nation that she has personal attachment to. Again, where Henri went to was the ruins of Anor Londo. Of Astora, which is Londor, right? That's where Henri meant. That's why she's a Londor. That's why she's a Hollow of Londor currently. Oh yeah, we don't. We don't need to go that. I'm thinking the Titanite Demon. I'm like, no way, I don't have to go face him that way. There we go. Let's do this. There we go. She's a cosplayer. Yeah, that's the idea. She stole a store in armor from the dead in the Cathedral of the Deep, and then she, after doing her grave robbing or whatever, she ended up finding, she ended up, like, tracing her path to the ruins of Astora itself. I'm sure she probably met someone who probably was like, oh, hey, you know, that's a store in armor. Are you a knight or whatever of a store? Like, and when she finally found that lost homeland or whatever, she ended up adopting it, Londor, with the replacement and stuff like that. But she's got an attachment to the original Astora memorabilia that Londor was probably keeping, because why wouldn't you? Especially when it, the sword specifically is luck, and that's a dark power that obviously connects to Londor's humanity stats and stuff there anyway. Woo! Oh! Phew! Phew! I wonder if I could survive if I try dropping from here. Oh. Oh wow, I thought it would block it. Alright, let's see. You know what? I think if I drop down here, it wouldn't be so bad. Speaking of, do I have the cat ring? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah. That's something you get from Alvina, right? Oh god, I have to do stuff with Alvina. Alright, I may be losing all my souls here. This might kill me. Yeah, I love Eldritch's story, but I'm a villain lover, so what can I tell you? Okay, time to die. I can't believe I'm not dead. Woo. 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 Oh. Woo. God, the power of healing. Just heal through damage, forehead. Oh boy. Yeah, when it comes to Aldrich, like, you know, all the disparate parts and stuff and how it all comes together, I think it really, I don't know. I consider it one of Miyazaki's best works in terms of balancing like the horror and the grotesqueness of it with, like, you know, the larger setting and the greater themes that the game's going for. I think it just all works so well. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh god, I think I wasted more healing than needed. Ooh. Oh. Of course. I think that's what's obnoxious about this enemy. It's just so much stamina gets wasted. Oh. Woo. Damn. Damn. Oh. Alright. God, we're gonna be here for a while, chat. I don't know what hit me there. I'll be honest, I don't know what was going up with the hitbox there. I can live with that. Or not. I guess not. I can't live. There we go. All right. There we go. God, the enemies are so tanky here. Heal, okay. God, that tail just... That tail damage at the end? Gotta heal. Okay, go. There we go. And dead. Woo! One demon titanite acquired, and a soul of a brave warrior. Man, what ain't that the truth? I was like the deep conceptually. Yeah, again, I think an underappreciated aspect of Dark Souls 3 is what Miyazaki is doing with the characters and worlds. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, the critique I watched, and one of the problems I had with the lore was that clearly there was misunderstandings about the basics to the world building and what exactly how Dark Souls 3 actually connected to its prior games, which led to unnecessary criticism that wasn't very fair, right? And again, there were a lot of criticism in that game that I thought was fair, if not, or at least interesting. A lot of times, I think we're skipping this guy. I think it's more important to live. God, we're gonna be here forever if we try killing all these guys. Ooh, there we go. Oh, perfect. But yeah, I feel like that's something that not enough people understand about Dark Souls 3. Because once you understand, like, you know, the basics of how Dark Souls 1 and 2 weave together to lead into Dark Souls 3 and what Dark Souls 3 is actually doing, it's really, really cool, I find. Like, Miyazaki, like, had a monumental task in front of him, and I think he did it masterfully. I think the Fallen Piss Knights are from Londor too. The Fallen Piss Knights. I'm trying to remember. Piss Knights. Yeah, sorry. The reference is not clicking for me. Hate to say it, but these moves are certified jank. The demons, yeah, there's a lot of I think part of it's because I only have the 4-axis rolling and stuff like that, but their hitboxes could definitely be cleaned up. I feel like it definitely feels like they hit you when they shouldn't. Like the tail thing, I'm not gonna complain about the tail thing that much, because I feel like that was definitely intentional the way that was made. Did I press the button already and I don't remember? I didn't see anything come out. Yeah, where the hell's the button? Oh. Oh, just the Fallen Knights. Okay. I get what you mean now. Okay, that's what you're trying to say. I don't think Fallen Knights have any connection to Londor. No, it wasn't them. It was the Burial, yeah. So there was a cut Burial Knight set, which ended up becoming Wilhelm's set, right? Which was very funny. To me, at least. But yeah, I don't know if Fallen Knights are Knights of Londor. I don't think they are. Oh, all right. Let's continue through Sen's Funhouse. Ba-ba-ba. Go on, get over here. Guys, still. Oh, yeah, he is dead. Good. Oh. Like I said, I wanna move this thing so we don't have to worry about it in the future. Actually, I don't think we have to worry about it now. I think we're in a good spot. There we go. Yeah, we don't need to go this way. Am I crazy? There's the doorway. Oh, looking the wrong way. Like, there's gotta be a doorway here. Yeah, Barrel Knight set was very cool. And to be fair though, I think Wilhelm's set is cooler too. I also like how they very cheekily had a reference to the Burial Knight set in the description of Wilhelm's set. It didn't get localized properly, unfortunately. And honestly, I wouldn't even say they should have done it, right? Like, it's one of those things where, like, obviously... Oh, I forgot about that. Like, there's a reason it was cut, right? I'm not gonna pretend there wasn't. Oh God, I don't know. Wait. Where the hell do we go then? I have no idea where we're going anymore. Damn. Damn, I'm lost. Might be Drakebloods. I don't think they're Drakebloods either. I'm pretty sure people have looked at the design and it's like, it's its own thing. It's completely separate. That said, even if it's its own thing and completely separate, I still think it's a very cool armor set, so. I would have loved if they had some of Elden Ring style, remove the cloak and stuff so you could just look at the armor. That would have been neat. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Oh. There we go. Oh. I must have stopped blocking there, because that should have definitely blocked it. Unless he somehow hit through? I'm pretty sure that just takes me down to the tar pits like last time, so I don't think we want to bother with that. There we go. Uh-huh. Large Titanite shard. Man, I'm excited when Ariandel is gonna be posted, chat. Like, that's got me super hyped. Like, it's like, wow, so many years of work. Woo. Wait, how did I press the button? Explain. How? Yes, die, you goddamn cobra. I'm pretty sure that fall would kill me. All right, ready to get pelted, chat? There it is. I will say, I'm sure the remaster has a better fire effect than whatever this is. Also, just to note, can we just appreciate how Sen's Fortress has all these little details and stuff to foreshadow the traps and things that you go against? Like, I just find stuff like that really cool. God, I wish their actual trees, though, will look less shit. Very much shite. Yeah, nothing here. All right, let's go this way. And no, I can just walk. What does that Hollow see as he stares off at the parish? Does he see the potential? Does he remember when his knights first embarked and left on this expedition through the castle? Does he wonder what could have been if they were more prepared? Does he lament their foolishness, thinking that they could have conquered this place all on their own? What does it matter? He is no more now. He is now nothing more than a hollow. surprisingly, not even that that tanky. I love the area, warts and all. What warts, honestly? I feel like this area is pretty much perfect. Like, I don't know what I could really complain about it other than, again, like we were talking about, like enemy, you know, enemy hitboxes for some stuff, but like, you know, that's I consider that separate from the area. Hey, good old Rickard. Oh, well, that hurt. Our good old hollow friend. Good old Prince of Astora. Ah, your journey ends here, my friend. It's a shame. Don't worry. There'll be a million other copycats in the future. Your memory will live on through them. Let's go see one of my favorite little cheeky references. Divine Blessing. Ring of Sacrifice. Pro St. Bernice! Bernique! Bernique! We promise it's cooler! Bro, you're named like a girl. Oh. We're gonna go this way. I saw some seams of the world down there. Hey, my friend! God, you do even more damage. I did not realize how much damage these guys can do. Holy. It's fascinating seeing the contrast between like the really old stone used for this specific part, right? And then like everything else you got here, right? Fascinating. I mean, graphical effects and previously just good. Yeah, of course. You can always argue that the graphics for this game could be better. I'll be honest though, I don't think they're that bad. I feel like this game has aged beautifully. And again, I think it's because it's so much more artistic. It's definitely aged better than Demon Souls, though I think that has to largely do with like the lighting engine and stuff that it's doing. Like it looks a lot better than what Demon Souls was able to originally pull off. And even Demon Souls still has a very nice effect. Like they make use of their style there. So I think it works well in that game. Okay, it's locked. I was like, I can't remember if this is master keyable. I'm pretty sure not, but yeah, it's not master keyable. God, it would really suck to fall down there, wouldn't it? Give me that Kareem. Give me that Kareem weapon. Yeah, we know it's there. Can he throw here? I actually don't know. I want to say no, but like... Oh, this is where you summon Tarkus, that's right. Alright. I really shouldn't attempt this. Oh! Oh, we're so close. Woo! There we go. Thankfully, dude exhausted himself for no good reason. There we go, 10x jump. Man, it's amazing how these explosives just turn into little earthenware fragments as soon as I happen to jump through them. The path to Anor Londo, now all bricked up. And not like that, you pervs. Alright. I just want to get a shot of this because, you know, it's so rare. So rare you actually get a good shot of this thing. Bro stands so cool, yeah. Does he move? Like, does he have like a breathing animation and stuff? No, he's solid. He's a statue right now. He is a statue. Also, I'm pretty sure his arm is clipping through the pauldron, lol. God. Yeah, again, wonderful. The fire breathing training devices. So cool to see these every time. Every time, I love it. Little nozzles in their mouths for breathing out the fire, like coming up the chimneys. Like, again, concept art makes it even more obvious the way you see it or whatever, but it's one of the cool things. I am so proud of myself for having figured this out without having ever referenced the concept art, right? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, this is how Miyazaki, exactly as Miyazaki intended, you know? Like, you just kind of like seeing it and being able to make the inference. It's just one of those moments. Of course, you can't get one for that angle there. I'm a bit sad the art for Abyssal Archive didn't fully capture the original design here. I should have given more direction to the artist on how exactly this would have looked like. But you know, it was good enough what the artist did. And like, I'm not gonna complain because Juan did such great pieces overall for Abyssal Archive and Demonic Archive. Like, I'm not gonna complain. For a second, I thought someone was walking across the platform, so I was like, wait, what? What was that a thing? Am I forgetting something? Oh, also, let's give ourselves a HUD. Oh, this is gonna be tough because I don't remember. Like, I don't remember how we get down there. Is it actually just by me taking the drop down to where the Baldur Knights are? Wholeheartedly agree. Oh, there we go. Oh. Guys, he said the thing! I don't even know what thing I said. Ah! Alright. You'll never replace them. You are a poor man's imitation. Where is your Night King now? He didn't have the demon sword, did he? He never could. Alright, taking up rings. 5 stone plate ring. Fire training. God, yeah, just FromSoft storytelling is second to none. It truly is so unique and expertly executed. All right, so if I recall correctly, I need to fall this way. So we have to take a few. No, I think we should do this. Yeah, we should do that last. I think our first focus should be, yeah, it should be this. Woo! We made it! Hey, buddy. The guy who we can't buy all his items for, so we can't get him to hollow, unfortunately. Thunder, stone plate spell, stone plate, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny seeing the idea of, like, you know, nameless merchants and stuff, kind of go by the wayside in future games, and then they kind of bring it back with Elden Ring with the nomadic merchants who don't really have names, right? I just kind of find that funny. That's one of those things that kind of, I guess, became vestigial as the Souls series of games progressed, right? Starting with Demon Souls. But now it's kind of making a comeback. Cage King. There's our shortcut. I think special we can see Ashley from down here. No, not really, unfortunately. Unfortunately not. Oh well. We tried. Ba-ba-ba. Up here. God, we're almost at Anor Londo. Crazy. Yeah, this is New Game Plus Plus, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure this is my OG character. For my English side, at least. Okay. I live. I live. Sniper crossbow. Makes you wonder if Baldur and Karim ever went to blows, or if they, you know, Karim weapons just ended up getting adopted by Baldur. This is such a big country and it's so militaristic, you know? Makes you wonder. Oh well. Kale quest should have stayed. I was gonna say Kale. Dark Souls 2 reference? Huh? No, Kale. I get why they did it. I totally understand. But I would have liked if Kale had more narrative importance to the game. I do think it's disappointing that he becomes... like, he just kind of feels like he doesn't belong, almost. And I find that a bit of a shame. Eventually, he's gonna freak out. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, damn. Terrible time to miss. There we go. I don't remember if this guy respawns or not. I'm gonna assume no. Actually, yes, because he gives you less souls than the other one does, right? So the other one's probably considered special. All right, let's see. Either way, I gotta get to Logan at some point, so. Actually, can you see the scenes for these here? No, it's just this one. I wonder, I never understand when those things show scenes and stuff like that, like what's going on there under the hood. Like I said, this is all magic to me, so. Yeah, I definitely think they could have probably rewrote his quest line for whatever problems it probably had for them, and kept like the general theme and idea, right? Because I definitely think I think the actor did such a good job And with that, like, you know, plot line, I feel like it's a shame that it would be lost, but you know, that's development, right? Like at some point you're sometimes like, damn, you know, I really love this, but I gotta kill my baby sometimes because it just doesn't fit, you know, just doesn't work. All right. Let's rest. Let's rest, and then we'll make our way to killing Iron Golem. I wish there was some import save option for the trilogy, like you did whatever ending in the previous game, so stuff changed, like areas and minor stuff. You know, it would have been cool if the games would actually reward you or something if you played it, but I feel like it goes against their nature, like giving a player an advantage because they played the past games, right? Like that doesn't feel like the type of Dark Souls fairness, quote unquote, that you'd expect. So I think it's fine the way they did that. And obviously you can't bring over characters from previous titles in terms of like, you know, canon or anything, since the games are based on Link to the Fire ending or whatever, so. Okay, yeah, he does respawn. Okay, cool. I saw that seam. I saw it. I see it. Don't think you can hide it from me. Woo! And down you go. I don't know why that guy got knocked over by the scythe blade. Like, okay, dumbass. But whatever. All right. Let's move this way. I'll be honest, I'm kind of curious if in New Game Plus Plus I'll actually have to be forced to engage with the Iron Golem mechanics. I could definitely see it, but I actually don't know. The power, man! The power of dragons, you might even say. Oh! Well! I'm surprised he didn't throw me off! Nope. Did not do. I love how I ended up doing so much damage. Woo! But I didn't do the damage to knock him off. I'm a failed as a Tarkus cosplayer. There we go. There we go. Give it to me. Those are some delicious souls. Why is he kind of shaped like a druid? I don't know. Alright, it's time. No, first though. Let me in! Let me in! Let me in! How dare you prevent me from entering Anor Londo? Can't really see it good from this angle. Let's see. It's funny because the sun's coming from there, but I feel like, yeah, you could actually see it better from this angle, ironically. Little holes in the mails. So cool. Anyway. Alrighty, it's time. Look at the shitty little portal ring. Guys, this is my Elden Ring. In before, the people are being like, it's all connected! Gwendolyn was trying to stop us from discovering the secrets of the Elden Ring! There we go. Alright. Oh, you see like the wall go like, you know, all around in Anor Londo, but they don't actually have it do that here, right? I think it just ends up... You get to see it buildings and a bit of forests and stuff as you get further and further in the background. But the wall doesn't actually, like, loop around the way you would think it would, based on how you see it from, like, Darkroot Garden and stuff. Yeah, it's just funny little things. Notice how in the cutscene, the elevator building leading down to the gargoyle is missing? I did not! I was not paying attention at all to that! I did not notice that, no, Bray. See, he's actually a star, he's not a dragon! Ah! Seath was born to be a great one. We're gonna connect Bloodborne into this too, mark my words. It's all connected! I should have bought the repair box from Andre, by the way. Get over here. Get over here, asshole! Also, how nice of Gwendolyn to decide after the city was abandoned to erect statues of Ornstein and Smo purely for the mission. Look at me, last sounds like a dying duck. I am a dying duck. What are you talking about? Did I tell you? My third cousin was Donald. I couldn't remember if it was a mimic or not. Demon Titanite. Remember, right, in this game you have to actually rest at the thing in order for it to count. So maybe I don't want to do that. Nah. Oh, this ain't big enough. Uh-oh. Okay, we need to go back and get Pinwheel stuff. We're not going into this with less than 20. Yeah. All right, let's go this way. Oh wait, I should do the level up first. We should not be playing with my my souls. Yeah, I know about the chain thing, Nobra. I just didn't think to actually bother checking. I just was like, I don't remember. I'm just gonna hit it. That was my thought process. It's not that complicated. All right. Still not. Soon! It's gonna be like 3 more levels or something. Trust, chat. How long before this thing starts breaking? I mean, we still got plenty of time. Get over here, asshole. Ba ba ba. See my dance moves. Woo! Hello there, governor. Oh, nice. I will say, these guys are taking more damage than I thought they would. I don't remember them being this squishy. Also, it's funny how these guys are giants and yet they're smaller than the slaves. I just always find that funny, the variable size they have for the giant characters. Twinkling Titanite? Geez, I wonder why that's here. There we go. Alright, I gotta work in a couple hours, so I gotta get some Z's. Night. See ya, Nick. Great having ya. We probably should end stream. I've been having so much fun just kind of playing the game while chatting with you all. I kind of forgot that, you know. I should probably be trying to put the finishing touches on Ari and Dell, you know. That's totally clipping into the wall, by the way. Like I said, though, how nice of Gwendolyn to set that all up for Smo after finally becoming a knight. Can you imagine that guy? He worked so hard to become a knight, and then Gwendolyn finally did it for him. What a nice guy. Yeah, I feel like trees are probably things that have aged worse in this game. Because they're just so obviously just like, you know, PNGs, maybe even JPEGs. Sometimes it feels like it. But he's definitely one of those things that could probably use updating. I don't think the remaster even fixes these trees, if I recall. If I think at most they probably like replace the textures, but like they still look that, you know, bad. I really do think we need to buy the repair box. Yeah, I think we need to go and buy the repair box from Andre. I think it's about time. We have the shortcut and stuff now, so it should be okay, but like, I think we need a repair box. I don't want to have to come back and do this later. Because I run out. Alright. Big enough for me to go between their legs. And that's all that matters. Yeah, I'll be honest, I would love to see someone try to port Dark Souls to UE5 and try to do their own, like, update texture mod or whatever, right? I mean, modding tools are always changing for these games, so I would just love to see that. I mean, they did with the Oblivion remaster. Though I'll be honest, I think the Oblivion remaster looks ugly with the UE5 engine update. Graphically, great, but like, I think artistically, it just kind of looks eh. I feel like they could have done more there. I personally think Skyblivion looks a lot better overall. So I'm looking forward to when Sky Oblivion comes out. Hopefully, it'll be this year. Do you think Aldrich dreamed of the Life on Sight because Priscilla was Gwendolyn's mom? I think he dreamed of Life on Sight because Gwendolyn's final moments, you know, as he's being eaten, was thinking about his sister Yorshka, and so by extension Priscilla. I think that's really what it was. Was I crazy? Was I at the shortcut and I just didn't notice? Like, no, the shortcut's down there. Yeah. Yeah, okay, there's no shortcut here. So, the fast track would be here. Yeah, okay. Oh, this guy respawns. I don't remember that. Oh, no wonder he was so squishy. But, you know, it's very clear that, the Life on Sight is less having to do with Priscilla and more to do with Yorshka. Okay, I need to ask the English community because I actually don't know too deeply. How common was it to understand that Gwendolyn and Priscilla were parent and child before Dark Souls 3? I'm actually curious how many people even accepted it after Dark Souls 3, if it was one of these like, no, that's impossible type of things. Oh, that's why the button's all the way back here. Get over here, you assholes. Oh god. Imagine going all the way back to Anor Londo because I died. Woo! Actually, I could use a homeward bone if I don't rest. I could totally do that. But no, we're not. We're gonna get the Pinwheel. We're gonna go fight Pinwheel now. It's time for us to go after Pinwheel. God, it's gonna be miserable though. I can already see it. Maybe I should do Darkroot first. Let's just purchase. Have that bot, repair box. Yeah, we don't need to reinforce weapons at Bonfire, so we're fine. We'll just have the repair box on him. Oh god, my equipment. I didn't realize I left my armor untouched for so long. I bet many people would call you stupid. Yeah, I'm sure. Some people still think it's absurd with no proper evidence found in the game. I don't know what more proper evidence you want than the fact that Yorshka and Gwendolyn are sisters. I would love to see what the logic is to try to justify Yorshka if Priscilla's not the mother. Also, Priscilla ain't. Also, some saying Priscilla ain't an illegitimate child, and more an experiment done by Seath. That's a choice, considering it's very explicitly that she's an illegitimate child, as I recall. Well, like you say, it's some, but you can find some saying anything. You know? I mean, more curious what the, again, I'm thinking more like what the consensus stuff was at the time. Yeah, might be, but I thought Gwyn married Guinevere to Seath as he became a duke. As in that's what you were thinking, or you're just like trying to recall like something that you've heard or that I've talked about in the past? Because yes, that would be the proper conclusion. I feel like I feel like the Guinevere thing is definitely the thing I understand the community for not picking up on, because like the localization does not do a good job of translating Gaiseki. It just doesn't. And I can kind of understand the localization's plight, because like, where do they go with like embraced by royalty. That's the phrase they went with, right, in the end. Like, I kind of get the idea they were going for, but like, the relation part was the important bit. So I feel like they could have chose a better word than embraced. Again, if they want to avoid like using married or whatever, because they weren't exactly sure how exactly it was, and they weren't gonna ask Miyazaki about it or anything. Like, I feel like there would have been so many other ways. Okay, yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, Yorshka, if they're gonna dismiss Yorshka and just say retcon or something, or cut content or whatever, then there's no point in having, there's no rational discussion to be had there. You've read Full Abyssal Archive, that's one. New DS1 playthrough? Yeah, Yakuza, it's not really new. I've had this file forever, but like, I don't know. I've been feeling like I just want to play more Dark Souls 1, because I just don't play enough Dark Souls 1. Like, I keep saying how it's like my favorite one in the series, and yet I feel like I've played it the least of all of them. Like, I've played 2 and 3 like ridiculous amounts, and god, man, do I wish I wasn't playing 2 as much as I have. You know? Is it Yorshka sharing the mother anyways with Gwendolyn, or am I lost? Yeah, Ken. We're just discussing what other people have talked about or argued, right? Dark Souls 4 soon. That, man, I hope not. As I've stated in the past, Dark Souls never needed sequels. If it was gonna get sequels, I'd prefer it be a Dark Souls 3 and not a Dark Souls 2 in terms of pure style and stuff like that. But like, it really doesn't need sequels. After 3, I think it's done everything it could. Please do spin-offs or something. Something that doesn't revolve around the question of to link the fire or not to link the fire. Like, Miyazaki, it's done. We get it. You've explored that and beaten that dead horse into a bloody pulp. It's time. It's time for us to do the stuff we actually play your games for, which is the interesting lore and world building. Like, let's be honest, nobody cares what your plot is, Miyazaki. I know you do. You care a whole lot about the themes and the plots and everything you do, but please, for God's sake, nobody else does it. Nobody plays these games to answer the question about linking the fire. We just want to experience cool worlds, cool settings, nice enemies, and experience some fair difficulty to give us a worthwhile, meaningful experience. So please, I beg you, just give the reins to someone else, be the supervisor, make sure it's all lore consistent, and let people do something else with the franchise. Tell me the story of, like, you know, Astora's battles with the evil eye or whatever. Like, there's just so much you can do. I beg you, just don't make it a Dark Souls 4. Oh, remake would be peak. Again, as long as we don't get a we don't have run into the same problem Bluepoint did, where they just did not have the art team capable of translating the From Software style to next gen graphics. As long as we avoid that. Dark Souls is the most baffling cut content decision of the whole trilogy. It's super fucked up, like not even the lore leftovers, but the stupid decision to cut enemies and boss outfits. I understand why a lot of the stuff got cut that did get cut, in the same way that I understand why Dark Souls 1 stuff that got cut did get cut. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, you know, there are ideas you have, and sometimes as you're changing, like, your story, the idea, the progression, what you're wanting to do, the gameplay, you're like, some stuff just no longer fits and has to be left out, right? Again, there's always... The thing with cut content is we're getting a peek at what is the development process for everything, right? Like, people like to talk about the development for Dark Souls 1, but the reality is that Dark Souls 1 had a lot of its own clear development issues looking at its cut content. It just doesn't get publicized as much. I think in many ways because it didn't have anything besides Demon Souls, really, to compare itself to. Not really saying much either, considering the relative popularity of Demon Souls compared to Dark Souls. Best version of the remaster is the Switch one because it upscaled the Prepare to Die edition with mesh hole fixes and whatnot. Is that so? Is it actually, like, fundamentally different from the others? That's kind of neat. I don't remember. Actually, let me double check, make sure I don't already have. I don't think I have it, but let me just double check. I should probably check before I go on this. Oh no, I already killed Pinwheel. I have Rite of Kindling. We don't need to go down here. Okay, never mind. I see the repair box. Okay. Oh yeah, like something like the armor sets or whatever. Like that's definitely stuff that I could definitely see them having added. But I understand why, because like what would be the purpose beyond just, you know, Fashion Souls, right? Like what was it adding in terms of like, you know, compared to other mage gameplays? Now, again, do I think it would take much effort to do it? But no, I understand why it ended up on the cutting room floor. Same with like Yorm's attire and stuff like that. But still, you know, kind of like what the remake did, where it made some weapons that technically weren't available in the base game available. They could always do that in a remaster. The music pairs so well with the Catacombs law. You know, you're right. I still think that Sen's Funhouse is the one that's been most fitting for it. Consider I put this music up just because I felt like it'd be funny to do while we were farming for souls at the beginning. It works out really well. Literally straight up killed Petrus for that, lol. Yeah, Petrus is here by himself. I haven't talked to him, so Rhea and company haven't shown up yet. I think in your DS3, you reference cut content the most of the games. Yeah, because the cut content I think is the most relevant stuff in DS3. At least when we talk about like the narrative development and things. Like DS2, let's be honest, there's not a lot of narrative relevance to a lot of the content in DS2. A lot of times it's for completely different plot threads and stuff that really aren't even worth bringing up. And Dark Souls 1, I don't need to mention it that much either. Because Dark Souls 1 is like, it's the most polished and complete, quote unquote, of like all the games and stuff like that. But yeah, I get why cut content in DS3 would piss people off. It's definitely one of the stuff that, you know, you give like a dev like a month or even hell 2 weeks probably extra development time. They probably could have had a lot of it included. And it would have fit just fine with the existing game. I wish there were places to read your Demon Souls lore book. I mean, my website exists. You know, you could just read my articles on the website. But if you buy Demonic Archive, actually, does Demonic Archive? Yeah, Demonic Archive has a digital edition, right? Yeah, you could always get the digital edition and read it. Is this still lore through pleased by my book? No, this is not pleased by my book account. This is my, what was they? Corteo, yeah. I don't remember why I came up with the name Corteo. I don't know if I saw it somewhere or whatever. I just like, Corteo sounds cool. I'll use that. Alright, there we go. The armor's really nice through all the games, so I always feel like bum wearing some other dude's set I killed. I wish the starting class had harder sets. I'll be honest, I'm impressed by how much I love the starting sets for Elden Ring attire, but like Dark Souls, I'm always going to be attached to the Tarkus armor. I remember, I think originally it was like, okay, I would use Astora when I got that. Again, I started with Pyromancer set, obviously, as a Pyromancer class. But like Tarkus, man. How could I not keep that? And I'm so glad they brought it back for 3. You know how sad I was that it did not when I asked a friend? I was like, is there even a Tarkus armor set in this piece of shit game? It's like, no. Like, fuck, man. This game is literally in the negatives. Like, what a... I said much worse things. Demonic Archive is good, but I want the physical copy. 117 is so steep, lol, if there's ever a sale or promo. Yeah, I don't know, you'll have to talk with the publisher with that. Yeah, again, one of the downsides to my books is while they're really great quality, and I really love the publisher for that, the physical editions are, at least the hard covers, are like, they're super expensive. I'll be honest, I don't know how the hell they even got a soft cover for Abyssal Archive. Like, that just, woo! That blows my mind. It's like, how the hell do you get a soft cover, version of that thing? Like, it's not even the fact that like it's in soft cover, right? It's the fact that they were able to get 2 volumes worth of text and get it down to 1 volume in like a book. Like, it's like, god damn, like, I know you got like super thick like soft cover copies of like the Bible and stuff, but it's like, holy hell, like that's a lot. That's a whole heckin' lot. Oh. Gotta turn around, my buddy. There you go. Honestly, these guys are only really a problem when it's like 2 of them, because then it's really annoying. Reinstating Oscar's quest or some of Artorias' dialogues might be very exciting for deals. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think because the Artorias dialogue was cut for artistic reasons, and I don't think I would personally disapprove if they would re-add something like that. I think the way they handled it is perfectly fine. And same with the Oscar stuff. I don't think the Oscar stuff really works with the final game as set up and everything. I think it was an interesting idea that they kind of dropped, much like the Lawrence is your best friend and you're chasing after him in Bloodborne plotline. They also dropped. I think it's one of those things that just like it sounds and comes off as cooler than it actually is in practice, I think. Let's see. Oh right, I gotta reverse hollowing. I wonder how this would get updated. Like, I know there's probably a way to do quality of life for this. I guess the idea would just make it when you Kindle, it automatically hollows you first. I think that's probably how they'd want to do it. God, holy hell. All right, so we want to get to like basically 240K, so we need another like 100K. Well, closer to 90, but you know, get the idea. I would only buy an Abyssal Archive / Demonic Archive audiobook if by some miracle you got the Blacksmith / Ghost / Bib Fortuna from Star Wars 6 to narrate it all. I'll be honest, I really am proud of Vati for his narration of Abyssal Archive. Like, I'm very touched by that. That's fair. Fading Flame reinstated the Dark Wraith quest in New Londo, and while cool, definitely felt kind of out of place. I'll be honest, the thing with restoring it is that a lot of it's based on guesswork, from what I recall. Especially if it's using the Jariel model, because the Jariel model isn't the Dark Wraith that was going to be. It was going to be a regular Dark Wraith. That much is clear. It was like the Jariel model is the Four Kings. It's not a Dark Wraith, you know. So yeah, again, it's one of those things where like it just doesn't work, especially if you're trying to do it on the rooftop of, you know, the actual building, you know, that Ingrid is like pointing you towards. It's so cool seeing these guys in gold, by the way. I just want to point that out. Let me get that tail, asshole. I already got your tail weapon, but like, I don't care. I want to cut your tail off again. There we go. Let me get another one. Gargoyle helm. I think this is safe. Yeah, I like how everyone just we've come to the habit of calling him Jariel or whatever, even though again, it's just the internal name because it's a reference to something from like the Four Moon Sons, or like it's a reference to some other thing that Miyazaki liked in his childhood. It's one of those D&D, you know, books. I think, was it Fighting Fantasy? I don't remember if it was Fighting Fantasy or not. God, it's been so long since I did the thing on Four Kings, man. I'm getting rusty. I'm getting old, chat. My memory's not what it used to be. I've got one foot in the grave. All right, chat. Are we gonna reenact? Reenact the travails of Tarkus? Jariel model could be intended for a transformation cutscene. I doubt it. I think it was just planned to be like, you know, that was like the original idea for like, you know, the Four Kings boss fight, was making something kind of like the Dark Race where they were more human. I think they just found that it was kind of unworkable, unmanageable, so they probably were thinking, oh, we'll have something in the Abyss. But they're like, well, the existing model doesn't work in the Abyss. Okay, create a new model. Just go back to the drawing board and create something from the ground up. You know, I would have actually liked to see in a remake as well, update the models for these guys. Like, you can still have them give throwing knives, but update the models of the throwing knives so they look like the ones you see in Dark Souls 3s with the magic ones you get when they're like little magical daggers they're tossing. Again, I'm not saying make it magic, but like, just make it where physically they look like they're blades. You know, just so, you know, just a little bit more continuity. A little bit of consistency. Ba, 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 ba. Reminds me of Superman Kryptonian names. Alright, let's go. Alright. Get ready, chat. Tarkus, my brother. I promise I will not let you down. I will not become another corpse that will be shuffled off into the corner after falling from great heights. Oh. Thank God these guys are still squishy. Beautiful. Again, I would love to have an Elden Ring camera and be able to, like, you know, just give me Elden Ring camera with warp to any bonfire from the start. I'll be happy. I really feel like they could have probably done better. Yeah, I definitely feel like they could have probably done better with the lighting here with the statue and stuff. Don't mind me, some Estus will make me all right as rain again, I promise. I also find it funny how they kept the texture and everything here, but it's like it's not a window. These are, though. God, imagine remake and be able to actually look out these windows and stuff like that. Having more, you know, having the lighting have a bit more of that realistic effect to it. Man, that'd be cool. I don't remember if I can get myself back here. Contraption does not move. Oh, of course. Let's do this before I forget. Doop-a-doo, doop-a-doo. There we go. Is there really no way? Oh. I'll deal with you in a second, buddy. Also, that air attack with the tail from the bottom was cool. God, I love it when my stone statues have blood. Woo. There we go. Is there really no way to make this higher? I guess there isn't. Okay. Oh well, that's unfortunate. I guess that makes sense. Again, I still think it was a mistake that From Software didn't greenlight a remake as soon as Elden Ring came back with 20 million sales. Same thing with Bloodborne. Again, I don't know what was going through Sony and Namco Bandai's minds, but clearly it wasn't making money. They should have immediately greenlit remake projects for their existing Souls catalogs. Done whatever it would take to get that. No. No. Wait, I have the doll already, right? No, it's not. That's keys. I do not. Okay, we gotta go pick that up then in the future. We'll probably do that after we defeat Ornstein and Smo, just because I want to have the Lord Vessel to easily work back. Same situation, Bethesda and I mean, let's be honest, Bethesda. I would not expect competence from Bethesda. They've been squandering their IPs for a long time now. That's nothing new. Oh god, I don't remember how to get over there. I mean, can we get away? Maybe? Yeah, I don't not remember, chat. God, I'm feeling old. I think I can maybe drop down in there, but I gotta just double. I gotta make sure. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I think I know. Yeah, I think I can. I think this is like an infinity sign. You go up, you drop down lower, then you climb back up, and then you get back on there to the middle section, and you repeat the process the opposite direction. I think I can do that. I think Zuli actually compared the size of this specific statue with, as I recall, our good old friend, Guinevere, and actually, ended up being, close to 1-to-1. This one's funny to me, because, like, she's got one heel on the ground here, and then she's got this. Like, what are you doing, girl? Why are you lifting that one foot up a little bit like this? Like, what's the point? There we go. Beyond fatigued of game remakes. I'll be honest, I'm not. I think I am not the type of person that hates remakes or anything like that, you know? I'm not opposed to them. I think they're great, especially when it comes to bringing stuff to Modern Empire. I just will always be critical when I think remakes, you know, fail to live up to their originals in certain ways, right? But it's the same thing with films and stuff. Like, there's been a million versions of The Wizard of Oz and stuff before the famous one everyone remembers was made. Doesn't devalue those versions at all as, like, individual art pieces, but let's be honest, the newer one's the one that everyone will end up remembering, and for good reason in many respects, so. I definitely think that remakes is just a fact of life. You know, retellings of stories that have been told are, you know, as old as time. It is what it is. I think it's the lower section you can get back to once you've put this lower, so I think this should be fine. Yeah, I've never understood people who say Dark Souls is clunky. That I have never understood as a criticism. I have never found this game to be clunky. I can agree with being slow, methodical. I would never say clunky. The only thing I could say would be kind of sort of clunky is the dodge roll being locked to certain direction. I definitely think eight directional or omnidirectional rolling is definitely for the best. But like, the game also doesn't really need you to rely on dodging as much as later games would. Like, it's perfectly fine as is. Alright, let's go see it. Where is my beloved? I always forget about this asshole in the back here. Every time. You're not gonna get anything from me. I enjoyed the Silent Hill 2 remake. As someone who's never played the original and is probably never going to because I have zero interest. Would I be critical of it? Do I think it definitely could have been trimmed down in some places? Sure. But I thought overall it was an enjoyable experience. I loved it. Kingsfield 1 is clunky versus Souls. Again, I've never played Kingsfield, but I can imagine just looking at it. Kingsfield's another one I'm surprised that They haven't really done anything with the IP. Though honestly, I said it before, I feel like the next thing I want from From Software is a horror game, especially after what we saw in Night Rain with the Revenant storyline. I really want a horror title from them. Like man, like they could do so good. Like they're so perfect for the atmosphere. Finish dragging the body. Oh, rest in peace, Darkus. The contraption. Ah, yes, the contraption does not move. God, never change From Software. Alright, we got Gwendolyn, of course, down there. Did I even pick up the ring for him? I think I did. I don't see it. But maybe not. No, I think I just rushed down to get to Pinwheel and skipped everything else, so yeah. There's definitely a reason to go back through the catacombs to get the Dark Moon ring. That's fine. We're doing the casual, never met Gwendolyn. Let's see. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing bad to say about the remakes. I'm happy that they exist for sure. Like even Demon Souls, which is probably the one that I'd probably be like most receptive to criticality. The worst I can say is I'm mixed. I think the art style they fumbled hard. I think there's a lot of good in that game as well. It's always funny to me how you can't actually see this door from the inside of the building. They have it hidden by the wall. It's one of those things that feels so unnecessary. I'm also curious what the reason was they decided to get rid of the cloaks and capes on the Silver Knight statues when they were translating this to 3, you know? I don't know what was going through their head. If they felt like, we'll just use the Silver Knight model, they didn't want to go to the trouble, or if they felt like the model was always like something they didn't want to do, but they kind of just stuck with it because they couldn't be bothered. Alright. Now, let's see. Oh. God, I don't want to do this with 200 souls on the line, but I guess I have to. Get ready, chat. You know what's coming. The fun times are approaching. Oh. God. You can tell this guy's a Chaos Demon. Because every time I hit him, he gets out of my range. Also, where the hell are you pulling that thing out of? Like, dude just pulls that shit out of his ass. Get wrecked, you bloody-handed traitor. Isla sends her regards. Oh. Lol. Oh, I only have 3 flasks lit. Yeah, we gotta... I have to go back. I'm not surviving Silver Knights with only 3 flasks. God, I hate you. Go on. The moving you farther away is what annoys me. There we go, die. Get wrecked, idiot! How are your wings now? Actually, what was it? It was like 2:30-ish. If I recall correctly. All right, I know you're behind there. Come on, get out. Come on, move it. Move it. Move it. There you go. Oh. I like how these guys can't actually get themselves through that thin little area. I find that funny. There you go. All right, that's the last of my flasks, so yeah, we have to return. And this time, give myself, Oh, I never did increase the, I never did the thing I wanted to do with the humanity thing. Because I still have that, or maybe, did I get a new humanity? I don't, oh, well, whatever. Clearly, this is the problem with me getting distracted, chat. Jane's halberd. I find it so funny that when we get to Dark Souls 3, they remove these. Like, I kind of get why, because, like, you know, the Vista and stuff you see, it kind of be distracting if you had these things blocking the way, in that game. But I just kind of find it so funny that they, you know, they try to recreate, like, you know, the Anor Londo experience, looking at the building and stuff like that, and you had something like that, they were like, we'll take it out. Speaking of Resident Evil, I'm wondering how, RE9 is going to turn out. His ass, quite literally. Like, yeah, that's true, no, Bray. Boop-a-doo. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, Yakuza and Jora, I just don't agree with you on remakes. I mean, hell, I just played the Trails in the Sky remake. I absolutely adore it. It's everything I would have wanted from a remake of that game. That game was an isometric style game from 2004. It is not, you know, I love it. It's still playable. You could definitely do it, but I'm not going to say that it hasn't aged poorly, especially for mass audiences. The remake is absolutely phenomenal. It takes everything I love about the original and uplifts it. And it translates its the isometric sprite style to 3D models super well. It's like you're never gonna get me to think less of that one. There we go. Now we have 20. All right. Wait, how close? Okay, how close am I actually? Like 30K off. Do I actually farm? I think I farm, and I think we're done after we get the level up in. Sorry guys, we're not gonna infiltrate Gwyn's home today. Oh god, I'm trying to rush it. Yeah, that's the problem, is dealing with two of these guys at once. Damn. Can't even get that last hit off. Oh my god, that was a jump. The game jumped! Give me Elden Ring jump, I beg you! Elden Ring jump, Miyazaki, and my life is yours. Oh. Alright, just die. There we go. And this is why it's better to just try to get them individually, because it's so much more of a pain if you get both of them aggroed. There we go. We're so close. Just gotta kill these stupid giants and we're done. Perfect. It's not about recency bias. It's just, again, the game has a lot of things. It lacks a lot of quality of life stuff that we enjoy with a lot of games from there. I mean, I'm not going to say that that doesn't hurt people's enjoyment of a game, right? And the combat system for the OG Trails in the Sky game, again, it's functional. It does its job or whatever. To compare it to whatever modern Trails games have, well, there's a reason why modern Trails games are the way they are. And consider the fact that if you're talking about the enjoyment of the art, you want more people, generally speaking, to enjoy your game. Obviously, the question is, well, what is it that makes your game your game? So I would say probably I would frame it more so as I want people to enjoy the story of, say, the Trails in the Sky. I want people to enjoy a lot of the core experience of the combat, which has basically been retained in the remake as well. Turn-based stuff, particularly. Well, am I going to pretend that the addition of 3D models, removing the isometric view, and the addition of voice acting and stuff fundamentally changes the game in a way that, like, it's no longer the same game anymore in its core substance? No. I'm not saying that there is an audience for older games like that. No, not at all. But the point is that, you know, for every angry video game nerd that gets, like, let's say millions of views or whatever for his stuff, there's millions more people who have absolutely zero interest in that game or anything. Again, that's the problem with especially when trying to gauge popularity from, like, content creators and stuff, right? Like, there's millions of people who enjoy From Software games. There's millions of people who probably only know them by the name. Probably many more who have never even heard of a From Software title, right? And they play completely different games from you or me, right? It's not a matter of whether or not older games can still have their appeal and stuff like that. But there's a reason you're not seeing as many of those types of style of games, even though they'd be much cheaper to develop, just because of, you know, graphical intensity and stuff like that, that aren't having the same mass appeal, right? Like it or not, a lot of us like things that the newer shiny stuff too. And just because something is acceptable doesn't mean it's necessarily ideal for certain people either, so that's also a factor. Alright, I think I have enough, right? Oh, no. Yeah, I do. No, never mind. I first I read that as 224, not 242. I was like, how the hell did I not get the 15k? Alright. We can level up now. Endurance. Alright, one last chest. I don't think it's gonna work still. I think it's still 2. I don't think it's enough still. Yeah, no. We're so close. We're so close. Like, look at this beauty. I don't know if I can agree with that, Yakuza, because, again, there's a, how do I put this? If you have a game and it has many of the same core mechanics and many of the same core elements, it also has the same story. It has virtually identical the same script. Again, trying to say, well, you know, different developers remade it from the ground up. It's like, it's still at least trying to emulate or retain many of the same pieces, right? Again, I consider a Ship of Theseus a fallacy in and of itself personally, but I consider it a definitional question in philosophy really more than anything. But for the sake of the argument, you know, like how do you not consider that at the very least retaining some elements of the original? Again, this is something that's very variable because it depends on the game, the type of game that it is, yeah, it is +5. I mean, there's so many factors to consider with that type of stuff, but like, yeah, I think you are very reductive with remakes overall, but that's okay. That's okay, no skin off my back. All right. Unfortunately, we did not make it inside Anor Londo today. I was wondering if we could maybe make it past the Silver Knights, but nah. It takes so much. I don't want to run through and then like take a few attempts. It's already getting late. It's already almost midnight my time, so I had fun being able to chill with all of you and be able to play this lovely gem again. Reminder of, you know, why the hell I've done what I've done with this series. Remembering what I love about this title. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything we're gonna be doing special this week, honestly. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be playing more of this tomorrow or if I'm gonna switch over to something else. I guess we'll play it by ear. Overall, I'm very happy with how things are turning out for Ariandel, so hopefully I can get that done this week. If I can get that finished and posted this week, I'll be so happy. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, nothing else I want to look at or add to that, so we'll just end things here. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one. Peace.